Hello and welcome to another episode of Matchday Predictions. I am Effective Gaming and I am joined by two fellow football fans, Exility HD and Explosive Gaming.
Hello.
Today's episode we predict the fortunes of both Arsenal and Aston Villa when the two sides meet at 3 o'clock on Saturday at the Emirates. How do you guys think Arsenal will start this game?
On the front foot, because Villa are hemp. No, I'm joking. I think it'll be quite... I think, because Villa are obviously going to set out to counter Arsenal, I should imagine. That seems to be how Lambert will play it. So I think Arsenal will have a lot of possession, like they normally do, play their passing game, but I don't know, their signings, I'm not sure they're going to be able to actually break Villa down very easily. If they can get an early goal, I mean, it could lead to a massive onslaught. But
Aston Villa is widely known for not having the best defence in the world, especially last year, getting knocked out to a League Two squad in the FA Cup or something like that.
Bradford.
Yeah, and that was just due to frailties at the back. If they need to play Aston Villa sort of more attacking, as in if they just hold back, they're going to be broken down in one way or another in the game. If that's but if they attack and just go for just get it up to Benteke and just get a goal, then they'll be on the front foot and Arsenal will be clawing back a game. So they're really going to have to come out all guns blazing in this game.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not just Benteke that we've got who can obviously cause an attacking threat. Really, we've obviously got Vyman and Bonahor, Tonef, who's just signed from Lech Poznan. The thing is, he's very inconsistent.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's one of the problems we've had, and that's why it's so good, really, that Benteke has signed a new deal.
Yeah.
Because if not, I'd be very worried about this game. But Benteke has never scored against Arsenal, but I think we could do quite well actually. But Arsenal are going to want to start well because. Even though they
both of you are going to want to start well. Both teams want to start well. One player, that's Sonogo.
That's it. And he's a youngster, so he's not going to make an immediate
20,
impact.
So yeah.
But Arsenal, after the last few seasons, they're going to want to come out with the 3 points in the first game, because if they've not, they when the Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires era, that's when they were just dominating football and attractive football. But now there just seems to be a bunch of youngsters sort of making their way and scraping results. And
I was going to say, they don't really seem to be. They get into the Champions League every season, fair play to you, but they don't actually ever seem to push on and get any further.
I think,
and it's what makes me wonder whether Wenger is actually going to take Arsenal on anymore, or whether he should actually call it a day. Because
he's not done too great, obviously, in recent seasons, has he? And if they don't win the game, then the fans are going to be on his back already. I mean, they're already on his back because they haven't signed, but also I don't think they're quite as on his back as before, because they have made bids for Suarez and for other high quality
players.
Time, but not coming up with the goods and not actually signing players. That's not a good thing. But
they haven't. As far as I see it, this season they haven't actually got an improved squad, and they got rid of Jovino, so that's a slight improvement. But how did they get 7 million for him? I've no idea. But they haven't actually signed any new. I mean, they've got some really good players. I mean, I really rate Kozula, Wiltshire, obviously, but they still have problems, I think, because they were playing Walcott. They started to play him up the top a bit at the end of last season, but I just think he's so inconsistent and not prolific enough.
A moment of magic, like that Newcastle game where he just run through their defence and scored.
Yeah.
That stuff, that's what you need to see, week in, week out from him. Just
exactly.
That open top play, scores him a goal, or just actually assists someone like Podolski or Giroud, if that's...
Yeah, he's a good player, Podolski. Giroud, I'm not sure.
I think that Walcott could be a really good player if, like you said, if he can actually become a consistent player. I think he could be as good as I don't know, Bale, but maybe not quite as good as that. But I think he could be a world-class player kind of thing. Whereas at the moment he's just kind of,
if he gets his
he's on the
consistency up,
fringes.
yeah, he will become a good player.
I mean, the fact that he's not really, I don't actually think he's good enough for the England squad at the moment. I mean, on his day he can be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a good player when he's playing well. He's brilliant then, but I just don't think that week in, week out he's consistently good enough to be even categorised as world class. Yeah. But in terms of Aston Villa, I think there could be a shock in store because the end of last season, the back of last season, they were playing some nice football and they seem to settle under Lambert a bit towards the end because I think he gave people a run out and
when
they've certainly improved
and like used the ball to attack and that
instead
of just sitting back and like attracting the pressure all the time, then they did well. But when exactly.
There's a lot of it and experience in the squad. So the trouble is, it's the grinding out results kind of thing. Like, say if we did take the lead against Arsenal, it's the then holding on, and that's something they couldn't do. Like if they'd have gone in at like half time last season, I think we could have done really well, kind of thing. Whereas it was the second half, and when it got to like the experienced heads to guide you through, you need, which they didn't really have last season, and they still don't really have.
I'd say that there was very many occasions where Aston Villa were 2 goals up, 1 goal up, going into the last 10 minutes, and often they lost the game, maybe got a draw, but they didn't. I don't think it was a question of fitness. I think again, it's like you just said, it's that inexperience. Most of them didn't have a Premier League year under their belt. And this season they do, but I still think there needs to be another experienced head alongside the likes of Ron Blah in the centre backs.
Yeah.
You've signed another centre back, haven't you? Akore. He's very young still. He hasn't proven. I mean, I think Lambert's signings are all young and they're sort of League 1, League 2 standard sort of players, and he's looking for that rough diamond sort of player. And
what about like predictions then for the game? What do you think, Exility?
I'm still thinking that Arsenal will pull off a result here, even with Aston Villa wanting to get the result. I'm looking at a 3-2 victory to Arsenal because I reckon there'll be goals in the game just for start of season, like going for it. I'll go for a Carzola first goal.
Interesting.
Explosive.
This is a really tough one because I can see it going either way, surprisingly. Although Arsenal probably will go in as favourites, I'm going to say a 2-2 draw because, like Exility, I think there's definitely going to be goals. I think first goal scorer, I have a feeling on Vyman.
Okay. Well, I suppose as a Villa fan, I've got to probably be positive about the game, which I'm not usually positive, but I'm going to say 3-1 Villa because Arsenal don't usually start the season too great. So, and I would say first goal scorer, I would back Benteke to get the goal.
Interesting.
I think that's about it then. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of Matchday Predictions. As always, comment your predictions in the comments section, and we'll get back to you on how you've done within the next few episodes. But for now, I have been Effective Gaming, joined by Explosive Gaming and Exility HD. And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.